I'm Karen Elgersma in downtown Victoria, and we're talking about Brighton Beach Memoirs. And you're watching Go Island on Shaw TV. On today's show, how one creative project is bringing cultures and people together. The 14th annual Ska Fest and the birds of the Panama Flats. All that and more on Go Island.
Go Island is brought to you by German Auto Import Network.
Hello, thank you so much for joining us on Go Island. What a creative, fun show we have for you today, because we're at the McPherson Theatre and we are talking about Brighton Beach Memoirs, one of my favorite plays. I've seen it, I think, 3 times.
Wow.
I have, yes. I love it. It makes me laugh every time. And I'm always surprised at how every time you see it, you catch another joke. We're here with artistic director, Brian, who honestly, you guys always, every year you blow me away with the plays you choose, because they're crowd pleasers, but they're also really fantastic pieces of art. You know, because sometimes our show pleasers, you know, just to bring in a crowd aren't, you know, you're like, really? You're going to do that again? But you know, My Fair Lady and Brighton Beach Memoirs. When you're putting your repertoire for the summer together, what are you thinking?
I'm thinking good writing. I mean, my background is working with writers. That's what I've done most of my career, and I really, really admire great writing. And I think this is one of the greatest, certainly one of the greatest sort of comic, tragic plays of the 20th century from America. So, you know, I had no trouble choosing this play. I love Neil Simon.
I love Neil Simon too. And even though, what year did this play actually take place officially in?
Well, it takes place in 1937, I believe, is the year that the play is fictionally set in, and it premiered in the 1980s in the United States, right? So.
And yet, so much of the humor, so much of the wit is so timeless. Yeah. And even watching the scene that we were able to enjoy today, I could have seen that scene like 8 times and laughed at a different part every time.
Yeah, it's a great story, and it's really an interesting balance, isn't it? Even in that scene, you can see that there's a lot of humor in the scene, but you can also see that there's a lot of heart in the scene as well too. The relationship between the brothers is very moving.
Now, where does it take place for people who haven't seen Brighton Beach Memoirs? Where does this take place? Well,
it's a semi-autobiographical play on the part of Simon. It's the beginning of a trilogy of plays that he wrote, so they're set in where he grew up, which is in Brooklyn, New York.
And do we love the Brooklyn accent? And the actors do it so beautifully.
Oh yeah, well, who doesn't love the Brooklyn accent? And we have a wonderful dialect coach who works with us on all of our Blue Bridge shows, Iris McGregor-Bannerman.
Love Iris, she's amazing.
She is, yes.
I love her.
Yeah.
If people are, sort of thinking, okay, summer's here, I'm gonna put my wish list together, things to do. Tell us why they should come down to the McPherson Theatre and check out the Blue Bridge Theatre program this summer. Of course, there's 2 plays going on, but why should they come?
I say this, and I think a lot of people have said this, is that the standard of work that Blue Bridge puts on the stage, and we're proud of it, is as good as you can see in New York very often, right? And I certainly think this is going to be one of those examples. And yet we do it at like a half to a third of the price of a show that you're going to see in New York. So good value, great plays, great actors. That's the secret.
We're going to meet a few of the cast members in just a moment, but first, when you wander down the street, hear different languages, see different cultures, experience different ways of life. Well, there is a project that's going on that kind of brings all these cultures together. It's creative, it's artistic, and it's very touching. Sucheta Singh explains. Thank you for that story, Sucheta. See, that's the thing about art. It not only brings cultures together and tells stories, it inspires, it's empowering, and that's why we're here at the McPherson Theatre right now talking about art. We're talking about the performing arts because Blue Bridge Theatre is putting on Brighton Beach Memoirs, which is one of my favorite plays of all time. I think it's because it's one of the first plays I saw that I was like, I think I was 12 or 13 or something, and I remember seeing it going, theater can do that, you know? Yeah. It was just it's such a well-written play. Sebastian, you're one of the actors in it. Tell me who you play.
I play Stanley Jerome. I'm the protagonist is Eugene. It's the whole story revolves around him and his sort of coming-of-age story, and I'm his older brother. And I sort of try to mentor him through some tough times at the same time as you know, screwing up a lot myself. Stanley's a young adult, you know, he's 18 and a half, he's coming into manhood and dealing with a lot of poor decisions that he's been making lately.
Now we're going to show you just a little glimpse of the scene, which is fantastic. The Brooklyn accent is absolutely dead perfect. So take a watch.
I got fired today.
Fired? You mean for good?
You don't get fired temporarily. It's permanent. It's a lifetime firing.
Why? What happened?
It was on account of Andrew, the colored guy who sweeps up. Well, he was cleaning the floor in the stockroom, and he lays his broom against the table to put some junk in the trash can, and the broom slips, knocks a can of linseed oil over the table, and ruins 3 brand new hats right out of the box. $9 Stetsons. It wasn't his fault. He didn't put the linseed oil there, right?
What did you love the most about the rehearsal process and getting to know this character and getting to know this era and being part of the Neil Simon world? What did you love the most about it?
I would say the challenge of it, actually, just because it's a comedy doesn't mean that, there's that old adage, right, comedy is serious business, right? And that's very much true for this show because there's a lot of drama in it, there's a lot of heart, and getting to that and accessing that was definitely a challenging experience, an ongoing challenging experience, I should say, yeah.
A very, very well-written, entertaining, funny play, and very heartwarming. Put it on your to-do list this summer. And another thing you have to do, check out the Ska Fest. Yes, it opens on Tuesday. Our very own James Green checks out what's happening, who's coming, and how you can get involved. Ska Fest. Oh, just another incredible reason why living in Victoria is really the arts and cultural capital, I think, of Canada. And I say that biasly, but there's an intimacy to our festivals and to our theater experience, just like there's an intimacy to the Blue Bridge Repertory Theatre Company, Brighton Beach Memoirs, right here at the McPherson Theatre. And we're talking to Elizabeth Duncan. Now, Elizabeth, I feel like I have watched you grow up on stage. Last time you and I hung out, you were the lead in Annie. And I know that was quite some time ago. But
Yeah, that was 3 years ago, I think.
yes. So. And how old are you now?
I am 15 years old.
You're an amazing young talent. Watch for her one day. She's going to be famous. I can feel it. Tell me what your part is. Who are you in this play?
I play Lori Morton, who is Eugene's 13-year-old cousin, and she has a bit of a heart condition, so she uses that to get out of doing a lot of work around the house, which gets put onto Eugene, so there's a bit of a rivalry there.
Very funny.
Yeah.
I can already see the silliness. What have you loved about being part of this this production?
I've just loved working with all the people who are involved, and everyone's been so supportive of me as a young artist, and they've been so nice, so it's just been great to meet all these people.
We have to take a quick break, but don't go anywhere, because when we come back, more Brighton Beach Memoirs and more amazing stories, including the breakdown. And that's right, this week's breakdown is very silly.
So Mr. Stroheim sees the oily hats, and he gets crazy. He tells Andrew the hats are gonna have to come out of his salary, $27. So Andrew starts to cry.
He cried?
42 years old, he's bawling all over the stockroom. I mean, the man hasn't got too much furniture upstairs anyway, but he's real sweet. He's always laughing, bringing me coffee, telling me jokes. I never understand him, but I laugh anyway, make him feel good, you know?
Yeah.
That was a scene from Brighton Beach Memoirs. That's right, that famous Neil Simon play. It's so well written. It's funny, it's heartwarming, it's clever, there's Brooklyn accents, and the set is extraordinary. Honestly, this is a play you absolutely have to put on your to-do list this summer. It's at the McPherson Theatre. Such a wonderful way to spend an afternoon or evening. Phenomenal talent. Another thing you have to put on your to-do list this summer is to check out the Panama Flats. That's that beautiful wetlands in Saanich. It's home to so many different species of birds. And Anne Nightingale, who is probably my favorite birder of all time, with an excellent last name, caught up with us to tell us a little bit about this special place. I'm always so fascinated talking to people like Anne Nightingale and hearing about all the different species, and oh, she's amazing. We're here at the McPherson Theatre, and speaking of amazing, I'm standing next to a very amazing and talented actor.
Okay.
You are one of the stars of the Neil Simon Brighton Beach Memoir production that will be opening like in seconds, it feels like right now to me.
Oh, it feels like it to me too, yeah, I get it.
You know, watching you on stage, doing that scene, You have a gift. You can just tell you have this stage presence. You have that ability to just completely own that character. I forgot that I was a reporter and I was actually supposed to stand here and memorize stuff and do things. I was so mad when you guys ended the scene. I'm like, don't stop, keep going.
You'll have to come see it to see the rest.
Absolutely. So tell me, who is your character for people who've never seen the show, and tell us a little bit about the play.
Sure. I play Eugene Jerome, who's a young 15-year-old from Brighton Beach. And the play is about him and his family kind of dealing with the problems that being a lower middle class Jewish family in the 1930s would kind of entail, all the problems with the Depression and being a 15-year-old boy with, going through all those quote-unquote changes and
And of course, Brooklyn is like a personality unto itself.
Absolutely.
And you guys own that Brooklyn accent.
Oh, thank you.
That was amazing. Is it fun to do the Brooklyn thing?
It's so fun. I find that I have to I'll go home afterwards and just be talking to my girlfriend or something, and I'll have to be I'm really sorry.
Give me a little Brooklyn. Say, come see the show. Tell the viewer.
Hey, come see the show. Come see the show. Come see it. You'll love it. It's great. It's really fun. Bring the whole family. It's a great time.
Well, we have to take a quick break, but please stay with us, because when we come back, we're going to tell you about how you can get tickets to the show. And also, don't forget, when you're buying tickets to Brighton Beach Memoirs, you have to also get your tickets to My Fair Lady. Just saying. I'll tell you a little bit about that. So stay with us. Okay, Pat Thomas. I've known that man for years. I have never seen him wear pants. Never, not even on a snow day, he's in shorts. But he's very funny. I love him. Thank you. Love the breakdown. Also love live theater. Blue Bridge putting on, once again, a stellar summer, opening with Brighton Beach Memoirs, Neil Simon's famous play. If people want to get tickets,
well, they just go to the Royal McPherson Theatre's website online, or they can go to the Blue Bridge Theatre website, and all the information is there.
And one of the things that people do in the summer is they forget that the theater does close. They close these shows eventually, so you have to get tickets. So the show opens July 2nd, closes July 14th, so don't forget to get your tickets now.
Yeah, it's a very short turnaround, very short window. We only do 14 performances of each of our shows, so yes, please do come out early, and this is going to be a popular one, so book early.
And if you do miss it, I know you won't, but if you do miss it, we are going to give you a little glimpse in a week or two or three of the next show, which is
My Fair Lady.
Yeah, that'll be in August. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
It is just an honor to hang out with the talent that Blue Bridge brings in every year. Honestly, I just am I get paid to hang with these extraordinary people and get a glimpse of that. You guys are great. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any feedback, ideas, thoughts, comments, you know where to find us. Facebook, Twitter, go to our website if you see us around town. Say hello. Thanks for watching.
Go Island is brought to you by German Auto Import Network, Men's Wardrobe by DG Bremner & Co., Menswear and Accessories, Hair Services provided by Salon J,